Alan Fire of Group Dynamic here with an episode of Does It Hold Up? And now I'm taking a look back at what I wrote 7 years ago about commitment being the natural byproduct of healthy conflict on a team as a part of Lencioni's 5 dysfunctions of a team. And the concept absolutely holds up, but my writing on it kind of doesn't. I didn't do a good job on it, and here's why. The big part of commitment is to understand that it's made up of two essential components: buy-in and clarity. And what I wrote a few years back kind of implies that buy-in is the most important part of that, and that's what you get when you have healthy conflict around something. There's some truth to that, but what I've seen in organizations over the last few years isn't as much a problem of buy-in as it is of clarity. There are a lot of vague instructions, vague goals, or vague paths toward goals set in strategic initiatives. And people are not always clear on their roles, responsibilities, expectations, scope of influence. And there's a lot of assuming that, especially among like higher level professionals, the assumptions can be even worse, that everybody just ought to know what they're supposed to be doing, or they ought to know what's under their purview as you head toward your goals. And that's just not necessarily true. I worked with a group recently where they just made it a goal for each member of the executive team to identify one area where there might not be perfect clarity in their department and seek to rectify that particular bit of clarity. And it had a big impact. Productivity went up, satisfaction went up, and they were all really happy with the results. The people who reported to them were especially happy with those results. So consider this. Yep, commitment matters, holds up. It is the byproduct of healthy conflict, which comes from developing vulnerability-based trust. All that still holds up. But the thing I'd really like to re-emphasize now, when I have the chance, is to really take a look at how much clarity there is in your organization, in your immediate circle, and the further you get out from your own sphere of influence. How's that going? Take a hard look at that. One of my favorite books on that is The Advantage by Patrick Lencioni. It really does quite a deep dive into the concept of clarity and communicating with clarity. So that'd be a read I'd suggest for you. All right, more's coming to you. Next on the list, accountability. We'll keep talking.